Chad from For the Fallen Dreams.
Joe from For the Fallen Dreams. And you're both vocalists, or are you the vocalist?
Well, I took a leave of absence on the last tour, and Joe here, being the good friend that he is, our bass player, he took over duties and filled in for me while I was gone for a couple weeks.
Or so, yeah. Just about 2 weeks, I think.
So, yeah.
How was your reaction at the shows when you were taking over?
Right immediately, I think you went home in San Diego?
I left in San Diego.
San Diego, and the next day I had to start up or whatever, but we ended up having a day off actually so I could get it together a little more. And we were going through the desert right as this happened, so I got a sore throat right the day before. So the first show, sang, voice was gone. And then it was probably, it was gone. Still getting okay reactions. I'd say we had a couple cities where kids came up to me and asked me, where's Chad? I know you're the bass player, but where's Chad? Jacksonville, Florida, kids were, I had several kids asking me where was Chad. Toronto, a bunch of kids asked me where Chad was. Montreal, I had some kids ask if I was a singer now. No, not a singer. It was just a temporary 2-week thing. He had to go home and take care of some stuff. So I know the words. I had filled in. Actually, he got sick on a tour before when we went on tour with Recon, and I filled in for probably 4 shows.
Yeah,
and that went well. And he played bass because he actually used to play bass in the band years ago. And so it just worked out that someone was on tour that knew the words.
I'm really close with my family. We're a big Irish family, so we're all really close. And I just kind of been putting things off. We were on tour for the past 4 months. Go, and I'd be home, and I'd be home for 2 or 3 days. And I have 2 little brothers that are growing up, and my grandfather, who is a huge influence on me as a person in my life. The whole reason I got started in music. This is my grandfather. My grandfather was in a country band, and he toured everywhere and did all that stuff. So the whole reason I'm even doing what I'm doing now is because of him. And the last day of tour when we left, he's not getting any younger. He's not an old guy or anything, but I could tell he was just he hated seeing me leave and being gone for so long, and seeing my little brothers. It sounds silly, but I'm a big family guy. So. My little brothers had baseball games and basketball games. I couldn't go to them. And my grandfather's calling me every day to make sure I'm doing okay. And I'm a big mama's boy, so my mom's calling me. And this is stuff I needed to take care of. I needed to spend some time with my family and let them know that, regardless of, how much I am on the road and what I'm doing, that things are, I know what I'm doing and things are going to be all right. So my family needed to know that, they still had instead of just see you later, I'm going on tour again. They needed to know that I still care. And it was a big thing for me to go home, even for those 2 weeks, just to spend time with family was really, really cool. So
where is the value in booking a band back to back 6 months if their fucking families are gonna suffer and the band could even break up as a result of stress? Right. What's the value in that?
That's a big part. You think we just put out a record in January, so you're expected to tour a ton. You're expected to do that, but at the same time, it takes a toll on you when you're with the same dudes for 4 months at a time, doing the same thing every single night. People think that's awesome. You guys get to travel all around the country and do this and that and hang out. And it is awesome. We're so happy to have that and get to do this and play in front of so many kids every night, and it's a dream come true. But at the same time, huge drives every day. It sucks. Spending the last bit of your money sucks. It takes its toll on you. So and it's rare that people are even as close as they are with their families these days. I don't come from a broken home, but a lot of kids do, and it sucks. And so I need, like I said, I need to take advantage of what I have, and everybody else in our band. I'm not the only person. Everyone else is close to their family. So and we needed a break, but I need them out of those.
You took one earlier.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. I originally got in the band. I'm from Iowa. I'm not from Michigan. I met these guys actually with Too Pure to Die years ago, and then I heard they needed someone. I got in touch with Chad, got in the band by doing that, and then December until the last tour we got on, I was staying in Michigan with Chad every time. So me and Chad didn't even get a break from each other, period.
No.
The other guys would go home for those 3 days and they would just chill. I was on Chad's couch in his room every day. So Chad and me essentially didn't go home from tour for almost 5 months.
I had to wake up next to him
every morning. And then it's like, what are we doing today? Every day, you know what I mean? And this family, you know, nice enough to let me stay for however many months I stayed, keep my stuff there. But I just, after this last tour we were on, got to finally go back to Iowa and see my mom, see my family for about 10 days, you know, and now I'm back. And, you know, we're getting more breaks. I think everyone understands that we are human. We can't go for 10 months straight. Like, we'll go insane. We'll break up, you know? But, I mean, also, I know there's some rumors about us breaking up. Kids are asking me, like, you guys breaking up? You guys breaking up? Definitely not breaking up. Definitely still going strong. No way that we would ever break up.
It's just the start.
It's just the beginning of it. So
I think, you know, historically at least, the band has always mattered more to its fans than to its label necessarily. I'm not calling out, you know, Rise Records necessarily because they're a great label.
For sure.
But I'm saying, on principle, to a label, a band means, you know, bottom line. To a kid, a band means everything. So, I mean, if it's up to the label, in general, they'd grind you into the fucking ground. But kids would want to see you in 5 years from now, you know? So, I mean, how do you preserve your health and your sanity?
Or what have you learned from this little experience to carry you over the next 5 years or so?
We all know, like, if we're doing this as long as we have, that we know what we can do to keep our sanity, whether it be, like, just taking off or someone sleeping in the back of the van and someone else driving, so we're, like, it's only 10 feet apart, but it's a big difference when you're, phone's going off. It's a big difference, but, I mean, it's cool, and I love the dudes, and we all get along really well,
So, I mean, how are you going to approach your career from this point on? Is anything going to change? I mean, you mentioned that there's going to be some more breaks, but...
You know, instead of maybe touring for 5 months on, a month off, 5 months, maybe, you know, 2 months on, 2 weeks off, 2 months on, you know what I mean? Instead of, because, you know, also at the same time, I don't want kids to get bored of us, you know? I feel like, this is our third time coming to Montreal. In the past, you know, it's like, before that, I would go with other bands, and, like, we would come to Montreal once every couple of years, you know, which I'm not saying that I don't like Canada, don't like Montreal. I'm just saying I don't want kids to get bored of us and be like, I saw them last month, I don't want to see them, you know. But I mean, that's all I can really say about it. It's, you know, the scene's so oversaturated right now with tours, with bands, so it's hard to compete. And being on tour that much, going back to the same cities every month, twice in a month, like, kids are going to be like, oh, well, you know, I saw them last week, so this week I think I'm going to go see this band instead.
Exactly.
And we want to prevent that, you know what I mean?
So it's up to you to push back when...
Exactly.
You know?
With bands, too, like, everybody is in a band. Everybody's on tour. So, like, when you're competing with 6 or 7 other tours, there's a show every single night of the week. Gas prices are $4 plus every night. Kids are, like, working their butts off just to be able to pay to get in the show rather than buy a ton of merch and go out to shows 7 days a week. It gets hard. So, I mean, like, we're obviously trying to hit as many areas as we can. And I know it's like, we, since this last tour, we've been off for a little bit now. We've been off for about 3 weeks until we jumped on this tour. This is just Canada. So then all the kids in the States, that are like, when are you going to come back? We're like, oh shit, we got to get going again. Like, we got to get back out. But we're stoked about it. Like, even this 3 weeks has done wonders just for us, just to, like, hang out and just kind of, like, do our own thing.
Yeah, I mean, me getting to go home, you getting to have your space, everyone getting to just have space to themselves for 3 weeks. When I got home, I didn't even leave my bed for, like, a week. I'm not going to lie. You know, I slept straight, and then I would see my friends, see my family. Completely re-energized me, ready to go, you know, back out. I still wouldn't ever want to go back out and tour for 4 months straight or anything, you know. It's hell, but if that's what's necessary, you know, I mean, everyone's willing to do what's necessary to keep the band going. So.
Yeah. I mean, we want to see all of our friends, and wherever it may be, like, we're making plans, we're heading over to Europe in the fall, so we're stoked to be heading over there. So many kids are like, when are you guys going to come to Europe? And we're like, we don't know, it's like across the country, man. But now it's happening, so it's cool to, like, set that in stone and be heading over there. We're stoked about it.